Alex here with Flower Street Urban Gardens. Wanted to give you an update on the thinning of our peach trees. Now, this whole process, it takes multiple days to do, for me. I don't seem to be able to go through it once and be good with it. I've gone through it multiple times and I'll see areas that I've missed, and I thought I was very thorough. But here's one of the strategies that I like to employ with this. You know, a lot of times I hear people saying, you know, I don't really have a lot of success with the fruit trees because the birds get them first. Well, the birds are keeping an eye on these things too because they know how delicious they are. So you need to be attentive to your trees. The other strategy that you can employ is when you're thinning the tree, when you're thinning the fruit, thin off the top area and keep your fruit where it's hanging down. The birds are not going to see it. You know, we've got these other trees sitting around. They're going to be primarily looking down. They're not going to be looking up for these peaches. So if you thin from the top, some of those peaches will naturally be camouflaged in the canopy of the tree. So think about that strategy. You know, on this branch right here, for instance, I took all of those peaches off of the top area and just kept the ones hanging down below. So that is a strategy that has worked for me. And then also, we need to understand, just like we're trying to help one another with our families, our communities, our country, birds are part of that too. We need to be able to say, you know what, I'm okay with birds getting some of these. And also, if you've got a little bird peck in one of your fruits, that's what knives are for. You can cut that out and the fruit's still perfectly fine. We eat that all the time. If it's something that you want to, you know, be able to eat and that bothers you, maybe that you cut that off, and that would be something that you freeze as you're going through that process of prepping your harvest for storage. Another one that we didn't really talk about is this tree here. I love this tree. This is a Waddell Giant Pear. Again, this was from my good friend Reed at RSI Grower. This was put in at the same time that we put in these peach trees. And one of the things that you'll notice about it is, if you come in over a little closer, you'll notice I've got all these sticks in the tree. For those of you that don't know about pear trees, they like to grow vertical. And so the tree can really just crowd itself out by the very nature of how it grows. So I put these sticks in there, and it's just little pieces of wood that I get from the shop. And but you can get these really easily. It could be bamboo, it could be anything that you want to spread that with. Now the main thing is, you don't want to spread it too far, too fast. You want to just ease it in, because if you try to do too much, and I did this on one of the branches, I spread it too far and it started to split at the crotch of the branch. So I had to wrap that up to really save that branch. And so that's something that you can do too. Now this pear, this Waddell Giant Pear, great for an arid climate. This is one that seemed to have morphed all to its own variety, and it was in Waddell, Arizona. And Reed had a friend that wanted him to look at this unusual peach tree. No one could really figure out what it was. So they named it the Waddell, and they've named it the Waddell Giant because these pears can be, you know, a pound or two. These things get huge. This is not a pear that you would eat by yourself. This is definitely a share pear, okay? So I want to show you this and just how we spread these branches out. This one, we do keep it pruned up pretty well. When you see this bark here, which is nice and green, that was a branch that grew last year. Those are going to be the ones that are going to be the easiest to manipulate. Okay, so again, we're going to give you some great information. We're still doing our plant sale, so if you haven't, we've already had people picking up, so our supplies are dwindling. So if you haven't ordered your plants yet, or your potting soil, your garden soil, give us a call. We can have that right out front for you. You won't have to deal with any crazy crowds. And this is Alex with Flower Street Urban Gardens. I'll see you next time.